Stop showing up on camera if you want to grow faster. I know that sounds wrong. Every creator tells you to post more, be consistent, show your face, be everywhere all the time. But what if that advice is actually the reason you're stuck? I'm Zoe, and today we're breaking one of the most expensive habits in content creation, always needing to show up. Because every time you think, I'll film later, or I don't look good today, or I'll post when I feel ready, you're losing momentum. And in content, momentum is everything. Right now, I'm actually heading to Milan. Different city, packed schedule, barely any time. But here's the part that matters. I'm still creating, still posting, still growing, without needing to sit down and film every single video. And no, this isn't about cutting corners or being fake. This is about building a smarter system. Because over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you a complete blueprint to clone your presence and multiply your productivity using AI. Imagine this, your content going out every single day. Your face, your voice, your tone, consistent, high quality, and scalable. Even when you're busy, tired, traveling, or just not in the mood to film. That's not the future, that's already happening. And the creators who understand this early, they're the ones who dominate. So if you've ever struggled with staying consistent or felt burnt out from always needing to be on, or you simply don't have the time to create as much as you want, this is going to change everything for you. Here's exactly what we're going to do. First, I'll show you how to create a digital version of yourself, an AI avatar that actually looks and sounds like you. Then I'll break down how to turn simple ideas into full videos without recording every time. And finally, I'll show you how to build a repeatable system, so you're not just creating content, you're scaling it. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable process you can start using immediately. No big team, no crazy budget, no hours spent filming, just leverage. So before we get into it, ask yourself this. What would your life and your content look like if showing up was no longer your biggest bottleneck? Let's get into it. Most creators don't quit because they're untalented. They quit because of the camera tax. The lights, the setup, the makeup, the pressure to look perfect, the 50 retakes just to get one usable clip. It's exhausting, and no one really talks about it. And here's the truth. The camera tax is silently killing more content careers than lack of ideas ever will. Think about it. You might have great ideas. You know what you want to say. You even sit down to create. But then the friction starts. You don't feel ready. The lighting isn't right. Your energy is off. You overthink one line, then another. And suddenly, what should have taken 20 minutes takes 2 hours. Or worse, it never gets posted. Now, if you're a professional in a fast-paced city like Singapore or London, this hits even harder. Because your time isn't flexible. Your day is already packed. Meetings, deadlines, responsibilities. You don't have hours to spend filming, editing, and re-recording. And unlike money, time is the one resource you cannot earn back once it's gone. So content becomes inconsistent. Inconsistency kills growth, and slowly, most creators just stop. Not because they couldn't succeed, but because the process wasn't sustainable. But here's where everything changes. We're entering a completely new era of creation. An era where you don't have to choose between showing up and scaling up. We're moving from manual creation to agentic creation. What does that mean? Manual creation is what most people are still doing. Everything depends on you, your time, your energy, your presence. If you don't show up, nothing gets created. Agentic creation flips that completely. Instead of you doing everything, you build systems, AI-powered agents, that can think, generate, and execute content for you based on your style, your voice, your ideas. So instead of trading hours for one video, you're setting up a system that can produce content consistently even when you're not actively working on it. Imagine waking up to content already created, scripts drafted, videos ready to publish. Your presence, active, visible, growing, without you being stuck in front of a camera every single day. This isn't about replacing you. It's about removing the bottlenecks that are slowing you down. Because the goal is not to work harder to keep up. The goal is to build leverage, so your content works for you. And once you remove the camera tax, something powerful happens. You become consistent. And consistency, more than anything else, is what drives growth. So the question isn't, do you have what it takes to create content? The real question is, are you still creating the old way? Because the creators who adapt to this shift are the ones who won't just survive, they'll dominate. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to make that shift. Record yourself once and never film again. That's not a hack. That's step 1, the DNA. Because before you scale content, before you automate anything, before AI can work for you, it needs to understand you. And this is where most people overcomplicate things. They think they need a perfect setup, perfect lighting, perfect script, perfect delivery. You don't. In fact, perfection is the fastest way to make this fail. Let me show you what actually works. Right here, I'm using the Instant Avatar V3 setting. This is where the magic starts. You upload a short recording of yourself, just one, and the system begins learning how you speak, how you move, how you express. But here's the part that really matters. It's not the quality of your camera, it's your vibe. The way you pause mid-sentence, the slight tilt of your head when you emphasize a point, the natural hand movements you don't even realize you're making, the tiny imperfections in your tone. That's what builds trust. And ironically, that's exactly what most people try to remove when they're on camera. They try to sound more professional, more polished, more like someone else. But audiences don't connect with perfect, they connect with real. And this AI? It's not just copying your face, it's capturing those micro behaviors that make you you. So when your avatar speaks later, it doesn't feel robotic, it doesn't feel generic, it feels familiar, it feels human. That's the difference between content people scroll past and content people stop and watch. So here's how you approach this step the right way. Don't overthink your recording. Don't script every word. Don't try to perform. Just talk. Talk the way you would explain something to a friend. Keep it natural. Keep it relaxed. Even if you mess up, that's fine. In fact, that's better. Because every small variation you give becomes data the AI can use to recreate you more accurately. Think of this as training your digital twin. You're giving it your tone, your rhythm, your presence. And once this step is done, you've essentially created your content foundation. From here on, you're no longer starting from zero every time you want to make a video. You've built your DNA. Your next viral video is one prompt away. That's step 2, the logic. Because once you've built your DNA, your avatar, your voice, your presence, the next bottleneck isn't filming, it's figuring out what to say. And this is where most creators lose momentum. You sit down, open a blank page, and suddenly everything feels hard. What topic should I pick? Will this perform? Is this even relevant to my audience? That hesitation? That's what kills consistency. So instead of guessing, I use tools like GenSpark to vibe code my research. And here's what that actually means. I stop acting like a creator and start acting like a director. I don't overthink. I don't scroll endlessly for inspiration. I simply tell the AI exactly what I want. For example, find the top 3 pain points for a 35-year-old founder in New York. That one line replaces hours of research. Within seconds, I get clear, structured insights, real problems that real people are already dealing with, things that trigger emotion, things that make people stop and say, this is exactly what I'm going through. And then I take it one step further. I say, turn this into a high-retention video script with a strong hook, pattern interrupts, and a clear takeaway. Now I'm not just getting ideas, I'm getting ready-to-use content. A hook that grabs attention, a flow that keeps people watching, a message that actually lands. No more blank pages, no more second guessing, because the hardest part of content creation isn't effort, it's clarity. And this gives you both speed and direction. Once the script is ready, I take it and drop it straight into HeyGen. That's it. My avatar, trained in step 1, delivers the content in my voice, my tone, my style, without me needing to film again. So what used to take hours, brainstorming, researching, writing, filming, now takes minutes. But here's the real advantage. This is scalable. You're not doing this once. You can run this process multiple times a day for different audiences, different angles, different platforms. One prompt becomes 3 ideas. 3 ideas become 5 videos. 5 videos become consistent growth. And the more you do it, the better it gets, because you start understanding what your audience actually responds to. You refine your prompts. You sharpen your messaging. You're no longer throwing content out and hoping it works. You're building content based on demand. That's the shift. So step 2 isn't just about saving time. It's about removing friction between your ideas and execution. No more staring at a blank page. No more wondering what to say. No more delays. Just input, output, and momentum. And when you combine this logic with your AI avatar, you don't just create content anymore. You create a system that thinks, writes, and delivers for you. And that's when content stops feeling like work and starts feeling like leverage. Quick setup. This takes less than 2 minutes. Log into HeyGen. Upload a picture of yourself, or even someone you like. Create your avatar. Then paste your script for the avatar to speak. And if you want it to sound exactly like you, just upload your voice. That's it. You're ready to generate videos without filming every time. The best part? You can change what your avatar says every single time, just by changing the script. And creating that script is easy. You can generate it in seconds using tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. Just give a simple prompt, get your script, paste it into HeyGen, and voila, your clone delivers it for you. But here's the real shift, the mindset. This isn't just a tool you're using. This is a system you're building. Think of it like a 24/7 employee. It doesn't get tired, it doesn't procrastinate, it doesn't need breaks, and it shows up perfectly every single time. Your content is always on brand, always polished, always ready to go, even on days when you're not. That's leverage. Because the goal isn't to work harder than everyone else. The goal is to build something that works even when you don't. So instead of asking, do I have time to create content this week? You start asking, how can I set up my system so content gets created without me? That one shift is what separates creators who stay stuck from creators who scale. So if you're serious about growth, stop relying on daily effort. Start batching. In 2026, editing skills won't save you. Ideas will. That's the shift most people haven't fully understood yet. For years, creators believed the advantage, the moat, was in production. Better edits, cleaner cuts, fancy transitions, the perfect aesthetic. And yes, that worked. Before. But now, everyone has access to the same tools, the same effects, the same templates, the same AI that can edit faster than any human ever could. So if everyone can create good-looking content, what actually makes you stand out? Two things: the quality of your ideas and your ability to leverage agents. Because the game is no longer about how well you can edit a video. It's about how well you can think and how efficiently you can execute at scale. Let me explain. They know what triggers attention, what creates curiosity, what makes someone stop scrolling and feel something. They focus on the message. But the creators who've adapted, they've cloned themselves. Not literally, but functionally. They have one version of themselves researching ideas, another generating scripts, another producing videos, another optimizing for different platforms. It's like having 10 versions of you working at the same time. And all of them are aligned to your voice, your brand, your vision. And here's the part most people miss. This isn't about replacing creativity. It's about amplifying it. Your ideas are still the core. Your perspective is still the differentiator. Your voice is still the brand. The agents just remove the friction between your brain and execution so you can move faster. This isn't just a tool or a trick. This is a mindset shift, a way of thinking about creation and influence that completely flips the old rules. You're no longer chained to your schedule. You're no longer limited by your energy, your mood, or the hours in a day. You are officially operating at a new level. Set up your clone. Create your system. Take the first step into a future where your content works for you, while you live your life, explore new opportunities, and expand your reach. This is AI with Zoe, and I'll see you in that future.